Marc Thompson was such a joy to talk to because he is just like, I mean, I found this picture. I'll have to send it to you. I mentioned it, but like, this is kind of a testament of Marc Thompson. I found a Variety article from about 10 years ago where he's at the premiere of The Force Awakens with his sons. It doesn't say anything in the caption of Marc Thompson, voice of the Star Wars
Yeah.
audiobooks or whatever. It's just him in full Jedi robe with a lightsaber going,
I think
just
I've
like,
seen that before.
yeah, and I stumbled upon it and I was like, "You're kidding me? That's Marc Thompson." And that is just kind of like the quintessential image of Marc Thompson as a person because like I talked to him like I saw he had a picture of him in his Jedi outfit on the Star Cruiser when it was open, and it's him doing the Obi-Wan Kenobi pose with his
Yeah.
lightsaber. And of course, me being the huge lightsaber nerd that I am, not even just in universe, but out of universe, like just from like I love the toys and the different companies and stuff. And I saw his lightsaber and I was like, oh, that's a Saber Trio Aaron, right? And he's like, yeah, that is. Like, how did you know that? I was like, and Will was like, bro, this guy's crazy with lightsabers. Like he knows. And so when he got that Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber, I was like, oh, did you get a new one? And he's just like, yeah. He's like, do you know how to work this thing? And so like I pulled up the app and I was like, I think you do this, this, and this. And
Yeah.
then gave it a second. He's like, oh, thank you, man. Like, and we were just sitting there talking, and then we started talking about the Mortis gods. And we asked like, I think somebody asked him of like, oh, they would love to see him do a Plagueis audiobook. And he was just like, well, my buddy Danny Davis did Plagueis, but I haven't had the chance to listen to it yet.
Whoa.
And I was like, brother, you need to listen to that audiobook, bro. Like you need to read that book. It's so good. He's like, really? I'm like, yes. I'm like, I know you've got like a billion things that you're doing, but like treat yourself and just listen to somebody, like just listen to it.
Yeah.
Because like there is so much juicy goodness that still fits into canon. And when I told him like there's like an offhand comment of, you know, the Celestials or the Mortis gods, he's like, the Mortis gods are mentioned in Plagueis? And I was like, yeah, because that was after that book came out after the Mortis arc in Clone Wars, and he was just like, dude, I have to read that book now. And I'm like, I'm telling you, man, especially after Acolyte, like I know you like the Acolyte, you got to get on top of it. And it's just, I mean, it just seeing them light up about all these little things and the different characters in the books and things that they want to do and things that they just like. I mean, being able to talk to Marc Thompson about lightsabers was like, that was not on my bingo card for ICCC.
And that's another reason why ICCC like stands out.
Mm-hmm.
You can never do that or get that personable with the guests ever. So
No.
the one last year, I kind of had that a little bit because like I would be on the show floor and I had Charlie Cox walk right in front of me to go look at a Ninja Turtle van that was there. And I'm like, bro, that's Daredevil. He's taking pictures with Ninja Turtles. And then the next day, I'm walking and Ian McDermott is just casually strolling by me. I'm like, bro, that's Palpatine. That was crazy, right? But at the hotel this year, it was next level. The day I got there a few hours before Ricky. Ricky's like, hey, I'm be there in like 10 minutes. So I go to the front to wait for him to pull in to help him. And Denis Lawson is just standing right there. And I am so nervous. Like it took me 10, 15 minutes to say hi to him. Cause like, I didn't want to be like a groupie, like, oh my God, Wedge Antilles, Captain Wedge. So I kind of waited till he strolled closer to me. And I was just like, hey, Mr. Lawson, I'm a huge fan. Thank you so much for coming. And he was like, hey, how you doing? And then we talked about like the weather, being in Nashville, Tennessee for the first time, real quick and casual.
Right.
I didn't want to be real pushy because I knew I was going to meet him the next day and get an autograph anyway.
Yeah.
But like, that was crazy. Then we go to Publix to get like some water for the room, some other things. So we're coming back, walking across the lobby, and Ricky's like, yo, isn't that X-Wing pilot? And it was Biggs Darklighter having like wine with his wife in the lobby. I'm like, yo, that's Biggs. So we go up to the room, drop off our stuff, come back for dinner. Biggs is still there having dinner now. We look over, Jim Swearigan from Kenner, the Kenner designer, was there. Yeah. And then we're eating. And then I look to the left and I see the back of his head, his bald head. I'm like, bro, that's Timothy Zahn. Timothy Zahn is eating dinner right next to us. And it was just surreal.
I remember
that happened every night.
I remember